What if humanity had a 1,000-year head start on progress? In the year 48 BC, a catastrophic fire swept through Alexandria, consuming the greatest collection of knowledge the ancient world had ever known. Countless scrolls containing the wisdom of generations turned to ash. But what if that fire had never happened? What if all that knowledge had survived? The Library of Alexandria wasn't just a building filled with books. It was the planet's first true global research center, a beacon of intellect and innovation. Imagine a university, a laboratory, and a library all rolled into one magnificent institution. It was here that geniuses from across the known world gathered to push the boundaries of human understanding. Take Eratosthenes, for example. While most people believed the world was flat, he, armed with just sticks and shadows, calculated the circumference of the Earth with astonishing precision. His calculation was off by less than 2%. This wasn't just a lucky guess, it was the product of rigorous scientific method happening over 2,000 years ago. Then there was Herophilus, often called the father of anatomy. Through his dissections, he made a revolutionary discovery that would be lost and then rediscovered centuries later. It was the brain, not the heart, that controlled the body and was the seat of intelligence. This fundamental understanding of the nervous system could have revolutionized medicine. Imagine a world where medical science didn't have to spend centuries catching up. But perhaps the most tantalizing what-if lies in the realm of technology. Heron of Alexandria, a brilliant inventor and mathematician, created something truly extraordinary, the Eolipile. It was a simple spinning sphere powered by steam, the world's very first steam engine. In his time, it was dismissed as a clever toy, a curiosity for the elite. But think about what it truly represented. It was the key to unlocking mechanical power. With the collective knowledge of the library's scholars, this toy could have been recognized for what it was: the spark for an industrial revolution. Instead of waiting for the 18th century, imagine an industrial revolution taking place in ancient Rome. Picture Roman legions not just marching on foot, but using steam-powered vehicles to cross vast territories. Imagine Roman galleys, no longer at the mercy of winds and exhausted oarsmen, but propelled by steam engines, allowing them to dominate the seas and connect the empire like never before. The logistical and military advantage would have been immense. The Roman Empire might not have collapsed. It might have evolved into something far grander and more technologically advanced. With this foundation, the period we call the Dark Ages might have been avoided entirely. The invaluable knowledge of Greek mathematics, astronomy, and medicine wouldn't have been lost to Europe, only to be painstakingly rediscovered centuries later through translations from Arabic scholars. The scientific method would have continued to flourish. Think of Aristarchus of Samos. This brilliant astronomer, working from Alexandria, proposed a heliocentric model of the solar system, that the Earth revolves around the Sun, a staggering 1,800 years before Copernicus. If the library had survived, his theory, supported by mathematical evidence, could have become the accepted standard. We might have leapfrogged centuries of flawed cosmological models. Science would have had a continuous, unbroken line of progress. Medicine, too, would have followed a different path. Instead of relying on superstition and practices like bloodletting for over 1,000 years, medical science could have continued to build on the anatomical studies of Herophilus and his contemporaries. The understanding of disease, surgery, and public health would have been profoundly different. How many millions of lives lost to plagues and ignorance could have been saved? The great voyages of discovery, which reshaped the world in the 15th and 16th centuries, could have happened a millennium earlier. Armed with advanced astronomical knowledge, superior navigation tools like complex astrolabes, and steam-powered ships, explorers could have crossed the oceans long before Columbus or Magellan. This early contact between Europe, Asia, and the Americas would have created a completely different global tapestry. Cultures would have mingled and clashed in ways we can't predict. The exchange of ideas, technologies, and even diseases would have accelerated history on a global scale. Would this have led to a more enlightened, unified world? Or just faster, more technologically advanced conflicts? The questions are endless and fascinating. Could we have reached the moon, during the Middle Ages? Could we have developed electricity by the time of the Renaissance? Would complex computing have emerged from the analytical engines of a Roman Babbage? The possibilities are mind-boggling. It alters the entire trajectory of our species. The loss of the Library of Alexandria was like humanity's hard drive being wiped clean. We lost the original files, the source code of early Western civilization. Preserving it wouldn't have just accelerated our technological progress. It would have fundamentally altered our philosophy, our art, our society, creating a present that we can barely imagine. Perhaps the deep questions about the universe and our place in it that we grapple with today would have been answered centuries ago, leaving our generation to tackle even greater mysteries. It forces us to look at our own time and ask a crucial question. What valuable knowledge are we at risk of losing today in our own digital libraries? And what will future generations think of us for what we chose to save and what we allowed to be forgotten? Thank you for watching. If this journey through alternate history sparked your curiosity, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more explorations of the greatest what-ifs in history.